Growing up in Lynchburg, Virginia, Alpha Coles had the right role model.
My mother made for me both the uniform with all the gold braid and buttons and the hat to be drum major for the high school band. So after that, I thought, I can do this.
Her dream led to a scholarship to study fashion design at the famed Howard University in Washington, D.C., and other things.
I was crossing the campus, and he just spoke. He's always been very polite. And so he just spoke and smiled.
He was Walter Blackburn, an architecture student from Indianapolis.
We were in life drawing class together. Well, you get to be close friends in a life drawing class.
Walter and Alpha were married by his father in Indianapolis, returned to Howard to graduate, then settled back in Indy, and Alpha started her fashion career.
I've always thought of it as another aspect of your communication. People hear who you are before you open your mouth.
Alpha Designs was off and running.
I did the first Colts uniform and the Pacers' first uniform for their cheerleaders.
Walter goes on to design some of the state's most iconic structures: the Hoosier Dome, the Arts Garden, the Indiana Convention Center expansion, Purdue's Black Cultural Center, the Malcolm X Institute at Wabash College. By the time they joined forces as Blackburn architects, they had a higher purpose too.
She and her husband had already done a lot of work here in the community, but what made an impression on me is that she was relating to me her work on the National Underground Railroad in Cincinnati.
I understood early on that this was a project that had the potential to change people's hearts and lives.
Walter would talk about the nuts and bolts of the building. Alpha would bring the poetry of the building into the discussion.
One of the most important Black history museums in the country, it was perhaps the pinnacle of their careers together. But Walter had cancer.
2 years into a 7-year project, he passed away. So the last several years, I knew if I never did another architectural project that I would have to hold it together to complete the Freedom Center. And so I was thrilled when I got a chance to, at the opening, shake Oprah's hand and thank her for her contribution, and all the others who were there to celebrate such a magnificent achievement.
I'm on the treadmill reading an article about in the New Yorker about the historical Mount Vernon. She's in the article, and she's talking about making sure that they preserve the history of the slave quarters at Mount Vernon. This woman is on the Mount Vernon Commission and didn't say anything about it.
It was when I moved here that I learned that she had been a TV personality. I didn't know. It was here that I learned that she had been on a number of boards, including the Indy Arts Council, but also the Symphony and the Art Museum and the Indianapolis Cultural Commission.
First appointed by Governor Orr, Alpha chaired the Indiana Civil Rights Commission for 27 years. In 2008, Alpha led the new Indianapolis Airport's $4 million art program, and she continues to give back.
Alpha Blackburn sponsors the annual Walter and Alpha Blackburn Scholarship Gala right at the Arts Garden in downtown Indianapolis in an architectural facility that they designed.
It's important that you reach as many kids because they're all our kids.
In 2017, Alpha was awarded the Chancellor's Medallion for her service on the IUPUI Board of Advisors.
Whether it has been in arts, fashion, architecture, civil rights, education, history, I mean, just about every area possible, she has been there in a positive manner.
I have always felt that your gifts are to share. So I'm hoping that my legacy is that working together works, that giving back is what we're all supposed to do, and that we are examples that others can follow.
Please join the Indiana Historical Society in congratulating Indiana living legend Alpha Blackburn.